Welcome to Endurance Noise and Random Musings. It is Friday, April 14th. Not April 14th, April 16th, 2021. I can't even read. This is in distant stuff, but Jonathan Galt says Court of Arbitration of Sport has issued its decision on Christian Coleman's appeal. His ban for whereabouts failures has been reduced from 2 years to 18 months. It now expires on November 14, 2021, meaning he will still miss this summer's Olympics. So he'll be missing it. I know that Alberto Salazar had his appeal going on as well. This guy, though, it's like you have to, when you're a national class, world class athlete, you have to tell them where you're going to be at certain times so they can come by and drug test you. And he somehow has missed 3 tests in a row, and it's kind of a crazy story, but it's the life of a professional athlete, at least in track and field. And it's actually kind of interesting that you got your major sports like football, basketball, baseball, and you never hear about these guys getting popped for drugs, or very rarely. And then in track and field and cycling, you hear about it all the time. And one of the reasons is because track and field athletes, cycling athletes, they don't have unions, so they can't have contracts, and they can't put up measures so that they don't get in trouble. I mean, you watch NFL, you can't tell me those guys are using performance-enhancing drugs. There's no way they're not. Same thing with baseball, and I'm sure basketball in a way too. So, Kipchoge says he's running a marathon this Sunday. Sunday, personally, I will be running a very beautiful race. I call it beautiful because we are in need and tough times during this pandemic. I want to run a beautiful race to show the world that actually we are on a huge, huge transition towards a great future. And Kipchoge is always a graceful athlete, and I hope he does well on Sundays, especially since his last race back in the fall in London, he had issues. It was cold weathered, and he also had an ear issue. So hopefully he'll be back into form. Hopefully we can find it on the internets to watch as well. This article is kind of interesting. Unfortunately, there are no bonus points for being a better than normal sleeper. Complicated link between sleep and injury. Brad Stollenberg says, the secret is there is no secret. Someone tells you they've got a silver bullet, that's generally a good sign to run the other way. Stuff that actually works can't be sold for big profits. Community, consistency, patience, reading, reflection, nature, movement, sleep. And yeah, one of the things that kind of drives me nuts is when you're on the Clubhouse, there's so many people on there selling a silver bullet and people buying the silver bullet as well. I don't really understand why some of the people on there are so popular, have so many followers, and seem to be making a decent living off of selling basically snake oil. But that's just what I think. Training Peak says, train hard, train healthy. Here's what coaches need to know about coaching asthmatic athletes. And the thing is, nowadays, almost everybody's got asthma. In fact, here in Bakersfield, our air has gotten better, but it's still pretty bad. I remember watching, the Olympics, especially the Winter Olympics with the cross-country skiers. And they were saying a majority of the skiers have a temporary usage exemption for asthma medication. So partly maybe because they truly have it, but also partly because it's just a way to get around the rules. And that's just the way things work. So not a whole lot of endurance noise tonight. Let's go over to my Instagram. Funny thing, I have Google Photos, and these photos popped up for some reason. That's my oldest son. This is way back years ago, him running a race at Cal State Bakersfield, and some pictures of him. Here he's at Mount Sac, probably his sophomore year, and then him running his freshman year at Woodward Park, and another picture of him at Woodward Park. Actually, that was probably an older picture, and then this is when he was a freshman. He got to run there, so, and another Mount Sac photo of my kid. Speaking of high school sports, Buchanan Distance Classic is going on tomorrow. It's a great fun race. All it is mile, 800, 1600, and 3200 with some 4x4 relays. Sometimes they throw them in. I'd like to be up there. I went to it years and years ago, and there's going to be some really great action there, and I'm glad to see this is happening on that great track. Definitely do some reporting on what goes on there. Some beautiful flowers on my walk this morning. The afternoon, go to my workouts, and I don't know what's wrong. I'm getting my sleep in, but I was out walking this morning, and you can see that pace is just terrible. And I don't know, it's just a combination of the medication, the heart failure. I'm not really sure what's going on. I keep battling back and forth whether I should just try and run some. This is pure walk. Might jump back into doing some more running because the walking is just so slow, and I can't get my heart rate up at all. Then when I got home, I did my kettlebell workout. Then this afternoon, got on the bike, rode for a little bit, and then went out and did another workout this afternoon. This also was a walk, and it was just painfully slow as well. Just can't get going. My hip's not bothering me as much anymore, but I'm not sure what's going on. And then I get the kettlebell. Kind of got a clue, though, if you go over here onto my Fitbit and you kind of look at the heart rate. And so, like, this morning when I did an hour 15, my average heart rate was 98. I was actually trying to push. You can see that. Look at that. Only 14 minutes of fat burning zone, 10 minutes of cardio. And then, of course, this evening I was trying to push again. And, with this beta blocker and other medications, it's just really hard to push yourself. So I may need to just run just to try and overcome that. Resting heart rate was really high last night. I'm not sure what's going on there. But, yeah, you can tell I worked out. But, I only got 43 minutes in the exercise zone, even though I did 2 hours exercise today. Not good. 7 hours of sleep. I'm really happy with that. Sleep score in the 80s. Can't wait to get higher. The sleep is back after my COVID shots. And got the drinking in, thankfully. And then, of course, the weight. It's slowly coming down a little bit, sort of. But definitely a long, long process. So, yeah, endurance, noise, and random musings. I did play a couple poker tournaments, just cash back-to-back ones. Little tiny cashes, though. So, as always, stay healthy, be boring, and please subscribe to my